Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So, we're picking up literally right where I ended off my previous Alita read through. I was not planning on doing two read throughs of Alita today, but I gotta keep going. Like, I'm not at a point in this series where I can just put it down. I did briefly consider kind of just continuing the other video and just reading through a couple of more chapters, but I figured that I'll just stick to my original plan of doing like kind of like 45-minute videos instead. Just to kind of keep it easier for anyone that's actually like following or watching the read through videos, just to make it easier for them to not have to like watch an hour long video. But yeah, so we're gonna dive straight into it. Pick up where we left off with Battle Angel Chapter 13, Killing Angel. So we Scrapyard West Sector. So you see like a hodgepodge marketplace. You see a bunch of robot heads. One that looks like the Eastern Island head statues. You see a bunch of people wandering around. Again, absolutely gorgeous artwork. I might post a few screen caps of these to my Twitter later, just so I can share it, because it is really gorgeous. So you see Ito just walking around this market, and he goes, "It's been 1 month since all of that." So it looks like he's going around asking people, he's showing people a picture and asking if they've seen someone. And they're all kind of just like, "Sorry, I haven't seen her." So he's showing them all a picture of Alita. And he goes, "One day, Alita just up and left, probably in shock from losing Hugo. But she left without saying anything, and I haven't seen her since. I've come wandering out here to the western sector in search of her." So you see that Hugo's gone and like bought a little chicken leg, and he's just chewing on it. "Both my hunter and my medical gigs are on hold until I can bring her back home." You see his cute little doggy just coming up like sniff sniff, and so Hugo just, or not Hugo, sorry, Ito gives throws the rest of his bone to the doggy, and it's just like tails wagging. It's so adorable. He's like, "Guess I better find a bed for the night." He's like, "Sometimes I imagine what will happen if the search lasts years." Then he just says to himself, "Then the streets will become my castle, my friend." And here he's like, "Ah." So you see, looks like a mugging that's going on. In the alleyway. And then as Ito's walking by, he's like, "Nope, that's not Alita." He's like, "Help!" He's like, "Help me!" He's like, "Shut up!" And Ito's like, "I'm too tired tonight, and I don't have my rocket hammer." It's like, ah. So as he's walking on, he sees what looks like an iron pole with a piece of concrete stuck at the end, just leaning against the wall. So he just stares at it. Then you see some thugs in the alley that are about to rape a woman. He's like, "Hee hee." He's like, "Hold her down, all right." And you're hearing, "Ah!" So Ito's taken the end of the pipe he just found and jammed it into the guy's ass. He's like, "Ah, my ass." He's like, "What the?" So you just see Ito there, just looking like the world's most like defeated and tired salaryman ever. And so the rapist is just like pulls out one of the kukri swords, the slightly curved one, like OP fans, if you remember Helmeppo, the same blades he has, the gangster guy has that. He's like, "Do you really want to go, old man?" And Ito's like, "Not particularly. But I think this pipe here wants to say goodnight to you, gents." And the guy's like, "Oh, yeah?" So Ito just brings it up the concrete and just smashes it into his face and sends him flying backwards. And the guy who he poked it in the ass earlier is like, "Oh, you're gonna get it now." And he's got a chain wrapped around his arm, and he swings the other end towards Ito. So Ito just catches it around the pipe. The guy's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna enjoy ripping your throat out." So it looks like at the other end of the pipe, he's got like 4 little claws coming out of the end, and he's about to swing it towards Ito. And Ito just Ito just looks down and just kicks him straight in the coconuts with a giant grunge. And then takes the other end of the concrete bit and just smashes it down and crushes the guy's head. He's like, phew, it's a good thing they weren't cyber enhanced with heavy weapons. So the young lady that Ito saved runs up and hugs him and goes, thank you. So you have the girl's name was Shamira. He's like, Shamira is so grateful to Ito. Want to thank you so much, okay? So you see this dark-skinned girl with what I assume is going to be blonde hair, wearing a little bandana and jacket. And then Shamira's like, Ito has place to stay? If not, come with me. Shamira makes you dinner. And Ito's like, she seems awfully trusting just after being attacked. But at times like these, I prefer to be stoic. And Ito's like, actually, I'm looking for someone. So he shows her Alita's picture. And Shamira's like, is she Ito's girlfriend? And Ito's like, no, it's nothing like that. Like, it really isn't, I swear. So it looks like she's thinking for a second. So then she grabs his arm and starts dragging him along. He's like, hey, wait. He's like, but as Shamira dragged me onward, I couldn't help but ask myself, what exactly is Alita to me anyway? Anyway. He's like, when I came to my senses, we were in a bright and noisy place. So you see Motorball Veronica Circuit. And he's like, Motorball? Wait, I've heard of this. It's a battle race that's popular in the western sector. The cyborg players fight over a single ball as they race around a circuit course. So you see that they have like these little motor legs on them, and they're fighting. You see like a bunch of robots just fighting. So it's like roller derby. Basically, it looks like it's roller derby. So then Shamira's like, one for number 57. And she goes, here, monitor ticket for channel 57. Ito, watch on this. And he's like, huh? So you can hear the announcement coming out over the speakerphones going, hey, all you thirsty ghouls roaming this mortal plane of existence. Tonight the gates of hell will open wide. That's right. Those grim and bold freaks among you bought monitor tickets. Have your coffins waiting for you downstairs. Thanks for your business, suckers. And Ito's like, huh? It's like, Shamira, where are you? And he's like, how does this all work? And Ito's thinking to himself, I'm not one for being buffeted around by crowds. By this point, I was wishing I just accepted her offer to put me up for the night. And Ito's like, well, since I'm here, I might as well check it out. So then he goes off to the side, and you see behind this little railing, there's a chair with a little headset coming down that says Channel 57. So Ito puts the headset down on him as he sits down. You hear, welcome to Channel 57, monitoring station for Bardiche. You will experience the exciting sights and sounds of Motorball in real time through your chosen player's senses. And you hear, whoa, it's like, whoa. And you hear, zzz, and he goes, my eyes and ears were suddenly thrust into a battle at 300 kilometers an hour. I was essentially inside the body of player number 57. So you see these players just skating along this outer track. And you see number 57 is like a generic cyborg. He's got what looks like an axe for a hand. And Ito's like, now I see the appeal. It's a hardcore roller coaster for adults. So you hear a boom as the robots are exchanging blows, and two of them get sent off to the side with a giant kaboom as they blow apart. The Chow's just cheering and going wild. And here it looks like number 57, the venerable Bardiche, is having mechanical trouble. He heads in for a pit stop. So it's like roller derby crossed with like almost like motocross, where you have the cars in the race that kind of go off into the pit to get tightened up and all that. So you see a bunch of workers coming out to, take them apart and put them back together. He's like, hurry up with that leg. Switch out my left arm for a flail. And he's like, who's got the ball now, Nick? And so one of the mechanics goes, it's Degyatarov. He'll pass by soon. And watch out for that one rookie. Everyone who tries to make a move on that rookie gets crushed instead. As Bardiche's little metal face mask comes back down, and he's ready to go. He says, none of these whelps can possibly stand up against the great Bardiche. And they're like, go. So he takes off again with the raw, and he vaults himself back into the ring. He's like, whoa. From a lap behind, Bardiche leaps over the pit wall and ambushes the ballkeeper number 31, Degtyaryov. So you see that he's now, instead of his axe, he's replaced it with a flail. So he sends the flail slamming around Deggy, tries to put up a sword to block, and it goes around and smashes him in the face. He's like, Deggy can't get out of the way in time, and he's down. Bardiche has got the motor ball now. And he's like, wah ha ha. So you see what looks like a bowling ball with these little protrusions coming out of the sides. It seems to be like the ball that they're supposed to keep with what they want to win. So then Ito's just getting super into it. He's like, yeah, there we go. The announcer's like, Barty's got it all to himself. Can he complete the lap and emerge the winner? He's into the home stretch. But there's one player stopped before the goal line waiting for him. It's the Angel of Slaughter who showed up out of nowhere 2 weeks ago. Channel number 99. Oh my god, I love this new design so much. It's basically, this design here is how Alita's dressed for the match, except she's got like the boxing helmet on with Alita on it. See here, it's Alita. So as Birdie comes out with a raw, he tries to take a jab at her head, and Alita ducks down and smashes back, and with a crack, Ito gets ejected out of the system. He's like, ah! He's like, He's like, that was Alita? He's like, I don't believe it. So you see, raw, the crowd's just going wild. It's like she holds the ball aloft and walks over the goal line. That confidence is almost infuriating. A dramatic, elegant fourth victory for number 99, Alita. Alita just takes off her helmet, just basking in the crowd cheering for her. Just so you see everyone that's been watching the match as the crowd's streaming out. You see Ito just forcing his way through them. And he leaps over the railing and goes past a sign that says keep out. He comes off to a fenced out area and is watching as the mechanics and everyone are taking away all the robots that exploded. And he sees Alita walking away. And he goes, Alita! So she looks back at him with this just like absolute stone face. And then Ito is just completely shocked because he's never seen her like this. And he's like, Ali. And she just looks like she doesn't even recognize him anymore. So one of the referees or gamekeepers rushes in and goes, hey, what are you doing in here? This is off limits, you bum. And then Ito's like, let go of me. He's like, unhand me. He's like, Alita. So you see outside Motorball Mannschaft and Holzug. And you got S-Dog Motors. Okay, so you see basically like the trailers for all the different contestants stuck up outside the thing where they go to get repairs and everything done. So you see Alita going into the trailer for number 99. And you see the boosh as the steam comes out as they start taking all her body parts apart for maintenance. And you see this guy that looks kind of like a monkey. He's got this really chunky face, a little bit of a scrappy beard, robotic eyes, and a baseball cap. He's like, wow, Alita, just really something. I ain't even fine-tuned that Wetzoid yet, and yet you already won 4 events in a row. So the Wetzoid is the name for the special race use bodies for motorball players. There are strict regulations on engine RPM, actuator reaction speed, and so on to ensure fair competition. So as the guy is doing maintenance work, he's like, I ain't been this excited in years. And you see a little Russell as this little bunny-looking creature with one eye and a little fluffy tail. He's just like, cute, and he's just like snuggling up next to Alita. Now this looks really, really awkward. So the next guy, one of the other mechanics has a mask on his face, and it looks a lot like blackface. Like, I know that's not what they're probably going for. It's because he's just some kind of protective face mask he's wearing on himself. But the way it's drawn is very reminiscent of blackface, so it's a little bit off-putting kind of seeing this panel. But this guy is just like, don't get all carried away just because we beat some scrubs down in third league, Umba. When I was still balling, he's like, ah, damn, my tremor. And you see his arm just shaking as he's holding a cup of coffee. He's like, I need my medication. He's like, we still having trouble finding a sponsor, Ed? He's like, don't worry. He's like, we'll be hauling in the dough soon. Lots of folks tuning in on the monitors. The guy's just holding his hand out and it's like shaking like this. So he takes some kind of pen and inserts it into there with a psht. And he goes, if we maintain this winning percentage, we'll attract sponsors, get out of this money pit, and rank up to second league in no time. And then, what is this guy's name? Umba. Umba's like, with Alita top league ain't impossible. And then he's like, hey, wah, ha, ha, ha. It's just like, you never know what'll happen in life, eh? To think this girl was bawling her eyes out at Joe's pub just a month ago. And Alita just shoots him a glare, and his Umba's like, Ed. And Ed's like, whoops, forgot I promised not to bring that up. And Alita's just like, Umba. And he's like, what? He's like, why did you create this player body to have female proportions? And Umba's like, well, because you're a woman, of course. Makes sense for the high-speed, lightweight, humanoid architecture. And the crowds love it. And Alita's like, I am. And then she thinks to herself, my goal was to forget everything. That's why I chose to be a motorball player. My old body, the Berserker, is dormant in some warehouse. It sleeps along with my memories of Ito's love and Yugo's bitter end. And so Alita finishes with her statement going, I am just a piece of steel. I want to be a razor's edge. So you see the next panel, she has like, I've had enough of you. Get lost, you bum. So two of the security guards kick Ito out of what I assume is the racetrack area. And he's like, ugh. And he sees that picture of kind of like, I don't want to say like, so he's basically looking at the picture of like Alita in like a more pure sense. I kind of want to say like he's seeing her in the more like innocent teenage girl, like kind of naive. Like the picture he has of her seems like it's representing an Alita that's like more innocent, pure, naive in that kind of way. And you can see that Ito's kind of trying to struggle to reconcile that image with like, you know, the death glare Alita that he just saw. So as he's staring at her, he just grabs it and goes, ah! And he goes, she's not the same Alita anymore. She's changed. So he breaks up the hollow disc in his hand. He just drops it into a fire barrel as he's walking away. And then Shimura sees him and goes, Ito! He's like, Shimura? He's like, Ito, bleeding, blood. Ito okay? He's like, did Ito find the woman Ito searched for? And Ito's like, it doesn't matter anymore. And Shimura's like, then Ito, come over, okay? And Ito's like, do you live alone? And then Shimura's like, no, one older brother. Brother never comes home. Shimura's so lonely. She's like, oh yeah, Ito's a doctor, right? Brother is sick. Help fix him. And then Ito's like, what makes you think I'm a doctor? So then she points at his Zalem symbol and she goes, this, doctor symbol. And he's like, huh? And she was like, ah, see? Here, this is Shimura's brother. So she takes him to a giant poster of the top league tourney 289, champion Jasugun Motorball. So superstar of the Motorball top league Jasugun? He's like, so that's your big brother? And Shimura's like, isn't brother cool? So next panel you see this brutal motorball match. You hear the announcer going, "Uh-oh, the lead group gets tangled up at Rage Corner and eats it hard." So you see a bunch of robots slamming into the concrete, and you see like hands and legs and other bits flying everywhere. And then it's like the motor ball is loose, but no one in the rear is able to catch it. Not only is the ball bouncing erratically, they have to be careful to avoid the messy crash as they pass it on the turn. So they do a little description of the motor ball. So the motor ball is 30 centimeters wide and weighs 40 kilograms, and the bulges on its surface rotate at random due to the onboard motors within. The switches to still the bulges are found inside the grip holes. Without deactivating that rotation, it's impossible to maintain possession for long. Okay, so it is like a cross between a bowling ball and something else. So they're basically saying it's like a bowling ball with these little rotating round bits on the top. So it's saying you have to basically stick your fingers into like the bowling ball holes to stop it from rotating, or else the ball will keep rotating and won't be able to hold on to it. And you say, "Whoa, what was that black bird that just swept through and snatched the ball?" And you see the cow just cheering. It's like, "It's Alita once again. Will this race be her 5th consecutive victory?" And see Alita just plowing ahead, just again stone-faced, thinking, "I want to be a razor's edge." Ed's like, "Heh, you're so pure. But did you know that the purer steel is, the more fragile?" So you see someone trying to sneak up behind her and grab the ball. So Alita just ducks down and then whips her sword behind her to cut off the robot's arm and leg. And then you see her looking at the little saw blade she has in the back. And then you see Ed telling her, "Alita, these are Damascus blades. They were forged by the greatest bladesmith to ever live." You see that beautiful patterning on the surface? That comes from a mixture of metal alloys of different hardness. It's called Damascus steel. So Damascus steel is a steel made using a unique production method thought to originate from the city of Damascus in Syria. And as I was actually looking at these, when I was looking at chef's knives when I was picking them up, apparently Damascus steel chef's knives are like super high-end, super popular, expensive ones. So the salient material to forge this blade came from the scrap here in town. In all of the universe, the ultimate Damascus steel can only be found here in the scrapyard. The impurities breathe life into the steel, making it into the sleek, resilient, powerful Damascus blades you wield now. And you see Lita just scoring around the roller motor derby. You see at the final corner, number 62, Armor Togo closes the gap by breaking in reverse position in the Dragonfly stance. It's the season-long champion of the 3rd League's finishing move. And then you hear, "Kia! Taste the Jigen School's Cloud Gleam Strike." So you see number 62 who's dressed in like very traditional, kind of like samurai armor. And he's got a kendo mask for a face. So Lita brings her arm up to block with the blade as the sword comes down and she defends it. So you see Cloud Gleam Strike. The quickness of a sword strike is divided into several units of speed, with the slowest being the time of one breath or heartbeat, called bun. In increasing speed, this is followed by byo, 1/8 of a bun, shi, 1/10 of a byo, kotsu, 1/10 of a shi, and go, 1/10 of a kotsu, and unyo, which is 1/10 of a go. The fastest unit, unyo or cloud gleam, is 1/8,000th of one breath. It is a poetic metaphor for the speed of lightning. And you see, and there's a huge burst of sparks. Who emerges triumphant? So you see Alita's just skated by, like, basically dragged her knife across the midsection of the robot, of the, who is it? Armor Togo. And you hear the announcer going, "Who emerges triumphant?" And Armor Togo's looking at his blade, which has been snapped near the hilt. And he goes, "Impossible. How could my Dai Panya Nagamitsu snap in half?" So you see the Dai Panya Nagamitsu is the legendary katana passed down from Oda Nobunaga to Tokugawa Ieyasu. And Dai Hanya Nagamatsu is not this sword. So you see then the next place with a king that the top half of his face has been cut off. And he goes, and Togo's head is off. The champ has been toppled. Once again, our winner is number 99, Alita. So Alita just goes breaking into past the finish line, just like what the ball rolling on the ground. And Alita's thinking the impurities breathe life into the steel. So we have chapter 14, Audience with the King of Kings. Alright, just gonna take a quick water break before I go. So you see, go back to Ito again, and you see number 99, Alita of S-Dog Motors, has 10 straight victories and sits at number 3 in the third league point rankings. And you see Ito's just munching on some popcorn as he's watching the display. And he goes, I pulled her out of the scrap heap and gave her life. And this is how she repays me? Oh, this isn't the last you've heard from me. And then Shumira comes running by and grabs Ito by the back of his neck and drags him butt with her. And she goes, Ito, come on, no standing around. Big Brother's game is about to start. And Ito's like, but I thought your brother was supposed to be sick. And Shumira's like, yes, Shumira's worried about that. But Big Bro's the champion. Big Bro can't lose. So then Ito's thinking her brother Jasugun is the champ of the top league, the greatest player in Motorball. I've been staying over at Shumira's place for a week now and I still haven't seen him. So you see Motorball Top League Galvani Circuit. You see a huge crowd of people just pouring in. And you see Alita's there in disguise along with Ed to see probably scope out the competition. So then she goes, the people really love him. Excuse me. And it's like Jasugun's games are always sold out, including all the monitor tickets. It'll be standing room only for us. And he's like, reminds me of my glory days. So Ed's like, you'll be promoted to second league soon enough. But it'll be good for you to see what top league competition looks like for when you do get there. So he's just staying silent. And then the little rabbit bug, whatever blob thing, is sitting on her shoulder. And then it just starts spinning its ears like a little helicopter bay with a and it starts flying off. And he's like, hey, Kimji, wait. And it's like, forget about that little thing, dummy. It's like, hey, don't push. And Alita's just making her way through this crowd going, come back, Kimji. So then Kimji sees someone just pointing their finger up like this. So it goes and wraps the little tail around the finger, just takes roost. And you see it's wrapped itself around Shumira's finger. And Alita's like, oh, thank you. And Shumira's just grabbing him by the tail and holding him upside down. Like, hey, can Shumira have this? He's like, what? He's like, no. And Ed's like, put that damn thing on a leash already. Alita's like, but it has no neck. And Shumira's just screaming at Alita, big meanie. And he was like, what's up, Shumira? They're about to start. So you see just listen to the roar of the crowd. They cheer for Jasugun, Emperor of the Motorball League. It's his first time on the circuit in over a month. So you see this robot walking out so he's missing his right arm, and his left arm looks almost like a drill bit, almost with like the patterning on it. And so like he looks almost like a Cylon because he's got like the little one ridged eye and doesn't have like very many outstanding features other than that. So you see, because our champ is so good, the normal rules are insufficient to ensure a proper competition. He'll be facing 2 handicaps, as per usual, no left arm, and a trio of challengers all at once. He'll be facing number 49, Claymore, 5th in the rankings, number 87, Piaketa in 7th place, and number 6, Kalishnikov at number 3, all top ballers. So Leo's looking goes, so he only has one arm to use, and he's going to face 3 opponents at once? Ed's like, that's how he rolls. And Ito's like, this is crazy. And Shumira's like, big bro will win. Ito will see. So you see, our contestants are doing their warm-up lap behind the race car. So you see them all chasing behind this car that's taking off. And like the car drops the motor ball. As the motor ball drops, you see it starting to spin and roll around. It's like, and they're off. Who will catch the motor ball first? So it looks like all three competitors surround Jaskun and they all attack him at once. And you see just a blur of movement, and they're all just like, what? And he's out ahead of all of them, and he grabs the ball as it's rolling with three of the spots, snags it in one hand. And the announcer's like, even with a simultaneous attack from three directions, the challengers cannot touch the godlike emperor of the circuit. Jaskun is already off and running. After his recent lack of activity, fans started to wonder if he was retiring, or worse, dead. But this performance puts those rumors to bed. The king is alive and well. And so he's just taking off, and he's just like, there's a huge gap between him and the three behind him. Alita's like, his physical agility is incredible, but I can dodge attacks too. Ed's like, heh, you'll see what he can really do once he uses his machine kratz. Alita's like, machine kratz? And then Ed's like, machine fist, the reason he's undefeated. And Ed's thinking, but why does he seem to be in such a hurry to win? What's he playing at? So as he's going along, you see him stop still for a shocking second, and he's just splayed out like this as if something's bothering him. So you see, oh, the champion topples off his feet. Is he having technical trouble? The ball is loose. So you see, it looks like he's slammed into one of the side pieces, and he's fallen down. See, number 87 Picata catches up and snatches the ball. The challengers are in control, but they're not attacking the champ. They carefully speed around him. He's not moving. Jaskun is still down. The crowd is stunned. And Shimura's like, big brother. So he slowly gets up onto his feet. And the announcer's like, there, he's on his feet at last, but he's stumbling around like a sleepwalker. The champion's heading to the pit, one hand on the fence for support. What happened to him? So all the crowd is just cheering and wondering what's going on. And the announcer's like, Jaskun stumbles into the pit. Will he even be able to continue the game? If he can't return to the track within 10 minutes, he is disqualified and his opponents win automatically. So then Ito and Shimura just go up to the fence separating the field from the audience, and they start climbing over it. And Ito's like, let's go help your brother, Shimura. And she's like, yeah. So then Ed's like, what the hell do those yahoos think they're doing? And Alita's like, that's Ito. See some of the security guards coming over. And they're like, hey, get back over that fence. So Ito just pulls a pipe he's been hiding in his jacket and just conks the guard over the head and knocks him out. And the fans are just losing. So the fans are just all following Ito's example, and they're all climbing over the fence, and security guards are coming in. The announcer's like, what's going on here? The fans are all in tizzy climbing over the fence. That's dangerous. Stay off the track, folks. And one of the guards is going, electrify the fence. And you hear a ring, squee. He's like, hey, are you people listening to me? Get your dumbasses off the racetrack. So they go to the pit. And then, so you see some of Jaskun's crew are like, who is that man, Shimura? He's like, hey, get security over here. And then Shimura points to Ito and goes, Ito has doctor's marks, see? And they're like, whoa, I was like, we're so terribly sorry, sir. And Ito's like, I'll do anything I can to help. Just explain the patient's condition to me. And so the pit crew's going, he's having spasms where his brainwaves flatline. Up to this point, he's always quickly recovered on his own, but not this time. Like, hurry this way. So you see him sitting on a chair, and you see his mask and everything's come apart. And they're all just, you see a team of doctors operating on him. Like, 1 minute since flatline. He's like, damn, I can't get a reaction. His glucose metabolism is bottoming out. Shimura's like, big bro. And so one of the other pit people's like, we all ordered him to stop competing, but his sense of pride wouldn't allow him to forfeit the championship. And Ito's like, I've never heard of spasms of brain death. What's the cause? Drugs, injury, metabolic addiction? And so the woman pit crew person is going. He earned his trophies by undergoing brain augmentation to acquire superhuman battle instincts, but at a terrible price. He's constantly risking death. And he was like, brain augmentation? He's like, So he's looking at the charts for Josquin's medical charts, and he's like, yes, I see. The neuron enhancement via artificial proteins. His cortical column itself has been reconstructed. This is Xalamite technology, a total remodeling of the brain using nanomachines. And someone in the scrapyard was able to perform this high-level operation? On top of the fact that she recognized the mark of Xalam on my forehead. Can it be? Alright folks, I'm going to take a quick break there to see what my dog was up to. But back to it again. So Ito's talking to them and he goes, listen up. This is a bit extreme, but I want you to simulate his substantia innominata with electrodes. The substantia innominata is a massive gray matter at the base of the brain's basal ganglia. Within it, Maynard's nucleus basilis, a group of neurons that, when simulated, produce a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine that activates nerve cells. He did his research when he's doing this series. So Ito continues, also administer a solution of glutamic acid, GABA, and peptides. Shamira, come over here. So the female crew member is just like, what are we doing, doctor? And Ito's like, we're going to use an amp to magnify Shamira's brainwaves and try to break through to Josquin's brain. And one of the other doctors is like, is that actually going to bring him back to life? And Ito's like, not according to any textbook, but in my experience, the best jolt to the system of any flatline person is the voice of a loved one. So he's hooked up some electrodes to Shamira's brain, or to Shamira's head, and he goes, are you ready, Shamira? When I give the signal, I want you to pray for all you're worth. Pray that your brother comes back to you. Got it? Ready? Set? So then we go back to the motorball track where you see the other three competitors fighting among each other. Like, yeah, haha, I've got the ball. I'm the champ now, suckers. Like, no cheating, Kalishnikov. And you see this absolute unit coming up behind all three of them with a doom. And you see Josquin is going, ha ha ha! There's only one champion here, and that's me. And I'm not handing over the crown anytime soon. And then the crowd's just losing it. Like, he's back! Josquin the Conqueror is back and badder than ever. And it's like, phew, had me worried there. So you see a Kadung as two of the other competitors, except for Kalishnikov, are just completely ripped apart. And you see he splatters two of his foes in an instant and bears down on number 6, Kalishnikov, the ball keeper. He's like, dear God. He's like, alright, champ, you want to fight? You got one. So Kalishnikov... Oh, God. So Kalishnikov's fighting with a giant corkscrew. So he pops it out of his arm and just starts rotating at super high speed. He's like, this ball is mine. And you see a boom and you see a circular motion around the little corkscrew that Kalishnikov has as Josquin comes up to him. And you see a giant boom as his body just explodes. And then you see Josquin thinking to himself, Machine Kratz mode 89B Sidewinder. And then he's got the ball in his hand, and you see where Kalishnikov's hand was still stuck in it as well. It's like, and Kalishnikov is destroyed. The champ reigns supreme. So Shamira's just giving Ito a hug as they're all watching this go down. And then Ito's thinking, I've got it. This guy's my ticket. I can use... Oh, Ito, what are you doing, man? So he goes, I can use him to crush Alita's pride and make her come crawling back to me. Alright, so that takes us up to chapter 15. I think I'm going to cut it off here because we're coming up on 40 minutes now for this second read-through video. So I think the next chapter is probably going to be too long to get done, even under 10 minutes. Yeah, the next chapter looks like it's about 50 pages at least. So I will keep that for the next video. But I am loving this whole what is it called? Motorball sport. I don't know if I want to call it a mini arc right now, but I'm loving the direction that this is going. So I'm hoping now that we've kind of figured out hints of Ito's past, the whole being a Zelamite and the other stuff, I wonder if we're finally going to start diving into Ito's past now, more so, and we're going to find out, what happened to him in Zalem and why he got shunted down to the surface. So I'm looking forward to that. So like I mentioned in my previous video for this, I will probably only do like one broad general review once I'm done reading through all of Alita, rather than trying to do like thoughts at the end of each individual volume, just because it gives me time to kind of gather thoughts and like confirm how I feel about certain things. It just makes it easier for me to kind of process stuff that way. So yeah, like I said, expect these two videos of Alita to drop sometime tonight, and I'm also going to record Vinland Saga today, which hopefully should also be out tonight, but will be out by tomorrow morning at the latest. I hope you all are enjoying this journey through Alita so far. There's still a lot more to go, and I'm really excited to see where it goes next, because I have absolutely no idea, where it's going to go or what arcs are coming up or all that. But yeah, hope you enjoy all this. Hope you enjoy Vinland Saga. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because that does help, kind of help me boost my content and boost my reach. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.